And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
No, gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
World's fastest half mile. With 160,000 seats arrayed in grandstands all the way around the racing surface, it looks more like a football stadium on steroids than a typical racetrack here tonight. Veteran drivers have described racing at this East Tennessee Speed Emporium as the equivalent of flying a fighter plane in a gymnasium. So it's no surprise that every NASCAR Cup Series race draws a massive crowd here. Still, the best seat in the house is the one behind the wheel. Live from the virtual Bristol Motor Speedway, it's Bluegrass Cup Series live on V-Speed. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, and here tonight we have brought you to the last great Coliseum opened for competition here in 1961. Bristol Motor Speedway has a number of remodels over the years, but its secret is the variable banking and the 300-yard wide open corners. You might not have much room to accelerate off the corner before shutting it down for the next 200-yard long straightaways. It's going to be a good short track event, I promise you that. So let's get a look at our track map here tonight. Half mile oval, as we said, 4 corners, 250 laps and a stage break at lap 80 here tonight. So we get set to go trackside and grid. This track is so short that it has front and backstretch pit roads. Drivers will have to use the backstretch pit road to come around for caution pit stops. So they have to be careful they don't come down the wrong pit lane and get a black flag. And we're all set to grid here. Let's bring that up on your screen now. Presented by Cofield Supply. Starting on the pole here tonight, it's going to be the number 57 of Jonathan Atkins. Sean Kaiser sneaking his way in just on the cutoff line here in points, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, but less than a couple hundredths of a second separating these two on the front row. Row number 2 is Hoppe El Hooby with Daniel Cunningham in the 4th spots. 5th spots, Michael Kostick with John Schwartz in 6th. 7th, Radburn Shutters with David Farmer in 8th. 9th, Jonathan Cofield, and then rounding out your top 10 here tonight is Brandon Holder and the number 9. Cody Anderson's going to start 11th with Barrett Morton in the 6th car in 12th. 13th, GT Hawkins, and James Silvers right next to him in 14th. 15th position belongs to Michael Robinson with Dustin Reinstedel in 16th. Casey Ryback in 17th. And rounding out the 18-car field here tonight in the Cup Series, Daniel Worthington in the 113. Still yet to get out there on the grid. Some drivers still taking their time getting down here trackside. But here we go back out onto the track for the first time tonight. And we should have 2 pace laps around this place. Not entirely sure on that. We'll have to wait and see if they take the green this time around. Lights are out on the pace car. So this might be the time. Let's bring that points battle up on your screen. Talking about GT Hawkins leading the points here by 6 over Rafael Hubi, David Farmer. And you see the 4 drivers on the right-hand side of your screen. Those drivers are eliminated. This is the second round of the playoffs, so all the guys in the top 12 make it through. Thankfully, one of them sneaks his way in there with a win last week. He's able to get through at Talladega. But pace car going to pull off this time by Jonathan Atkins, Sean Kaiser in the front row. And here we go, ready to start it up. Green flag up in the air, and we're live and racing at Bristol. Leading lap number 1, it's going to be Jonathan Atkins. He puts him in front of Rafael Hubi, and he's already pulled out to about half a second lead as we ride on the back. Running a much higher line than the rest of the field right now. Got a little bit of passing going on back here with David Farmer on the outside of Daniel Cunningham for 6th position. These tires are going to wear out fairly quickly, so these drivers are going to have to see it through, get the spots while they can, while the speed's still in that thing. And a car, John Schwartz, getting really close to that exit wall as they came out of turn 2. Now down the front stretch. Contact here with the 6 car. That's Barrett Morton. And we've got a yellow at lap number 5. 4 cars involved with that. Look like Cody Anderson, Dustin Reinsettle also involved. Casey Ryback able to get woed up just in time, but looks like the 6 of Morton just got really tight and came across the nose of someone. So let's go back on the instant replay. We just cut back there. We were looking at the 7 of Schwartz, but just behind him here on the outside, the 42 of Anderson. Nowhere to go. Morton comes up into him, and they contact out of turn 4. Looks like the 91 of Ryback does get some damage. Let's ride on board with him here in this instant replay. He runs into the back of the 11. So Dustin Reinsettle didn't really have an opportunity to miss that. The 91 goes low and cuts it off. A little bit of damage on the right front. And we've got a few takers down pit road. The rest of the field staying out. Let's get that points battle back up on your screen so you can get a good look at what we've got going on. John Kaiser right there on the cutoff in 12th position. Daniel Cunningham, your pole sitter, and the number 57. It's Jonathan Atkins sitting in the 8th spot in points, 22 points back from Hawkins. Hawkins back in 10th position right now. Has a little bit of ground to make up, but don't count him out. He's been solid this season. A lot of multi-win drivers here in the top 5, as you can see. David Farmer, John Schwartz, Hubi also in that mix. Hubi starting inside the front row tonight, so could be a good points day for him. So trying to get it set back up, double file. You'll have to excuse my voice today. Weather changing here in Southeast Ohio. It's always a fun time. Hot, cold. Can't decide. But here we go, getting ready to go back green on lap number 10 of the night. We'll have 70 left for the stage break, 250 laps. 125 miles here tonight at Bristol. Green flag back up in the air. Back live and racing again for the second time tonight. And already you can see Hubie, a lot of company on that outside. That's Michael Kostick on the outside right now trying to get by. Running that high line like the 57. Hubie now challenging for the lead. The 57 car not able to run out there like he did before. And now Farmer into the mix. He's right on the back bumper of Kostick for third spot. Has a good run here off of 4. Diving it down into 1. Just not quite able to complete the pass. You see how close it gets here at this racetrack. He's still working on Kostick for third. It's so tough to pass on the bottom of this racetrack. Mere 15 seconds to get around this place. And there's a completed pass for third. Now Brandon Holder gets around the 8 of Kostick as well. The 8 looked really strong there in that restart. Conceding to the lead. Rafael Hubie changes his line, moves back up to the top. Hawkins moving through the field, diving down to the bottom of Sean Kaiser now for 7th. Quickly picks up that position. He's moved up 6 spots from where he began this race back in 13th already. So all the side-by-side action pretty much gone. Brandon Holder off track here. We'll have to go back and see what happened to him. Looks like he's fighting a loose condition coming off the corner. Hits the inside wall. Let's go back and take a look. Yeah, there, right out of 4. He drives it all the way down. Doesn't hit the inside wall. He's able to keep it off there, but he loses a couple spots in the process. Falls back to the 10th position here as they come out of turn 4 again. Way up high here from the 9. Trying to get some speed back in that machine. So Atkins about to have some company. They've accordioned back up. Rafael Hubie has not let him out of his sight. 3/4 of a second dividing them. David Farmer. He picked up 5 spots quick. Started back in 8th, into the top 3. And we've got a yellow. It looks like the 11 involved again, and possibly the 91. So trouble coming out of turns 1 and 2, going into 1 it looks like. Back on the instant replay, let's see what happens. It looks like the 85's involved in this. It's Daniel Cunningham. Not sure if the 9 starts this or not. Oh, man. Looks like a couple cars trying to dodge Cofield. I think the 24 starts that. He gets touched. He's still trying to figure it out. So that brings out caution number 2 on lap 23 here tonight. We'll go one more time here with the blimp camera if we can. And it looks like the 85 of Cunningham gets involved, and then these guys just have nowhere to go behind them. $160,000 virtual fans here tonight. Here to watch the last great Coliseum put on a good show. I'm glad we're on asphalt. I cannot stand the dirt at Bristol. Been here in real life. Absolutely love the concrete surface. I don't know why they ever wanted to ruin it. They want to go dirt racing, they can go to Eldora. Plenty of good facilities out there that they can do a dirt race. But staying out on the racetrack for another caution. It's Jonathan Atkins all the way back to Sean Kaiser, who was involved in that accident. Kaiser still electing to stay out, staying on, and John Schwartz looks like he's coming down pit road. These guys may be topping off. I don't think they'll take tires, but we'll have to wait and see. Some of these drivers coming down to repair. A lot of damage on some of these machines from about 10th on back. Casey Ryback still trying to get some of that damage repaired. Daniel Cunningham got tagged. Dustin Reinstedel involved in the second accident. Another victim of circumstance for the 11. Still got lights on the pace car. Let's see if we can dial up Jonathan Atkins here in the number 57. Oh, we're going to have a tough time doing that. There he is. In Wotel. Jonathan Atkins, it's Bradley Cooper in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy? Jonathan Atkins, you got me?
Yeah, I got you.
I know we're about to go green now. I guess what I'm asking is, do you think we're going to go green here to the stage?
I hope so. I'd like to jump out and take it and not have to keep doing these restarts, but we'll see. I don't know what's going on out back there, but we'll get it together.
Well, you're looking good on these restarts. Good luck on the third one, and we'll see you maybe post-race.
I appreciate it. I hope so. We'll see you.
Driving to number 57 and getting ready to go green. I caught him there almost on the edge of the green flag coming out, but we're good to go. Back live at Bristol. And how about that? The 44 of Shutters moves his way into the top 5. Now getting past on the outside, though. It looks like Hawkins is going to take that spot away from him. Good run here off of 2. An even better run off of 4, and Hawkins gets the position. Dives down to the bottom. Going to make a move now on the 8 of Caustic. Look at the momentum the 14's carrying through this field. What a phenomenal job picking apart this traffic. See, some of these drivers have been struggling to try to make passes. We saw Cody Farmer down on the bottom of the inside of Caustic for quite a few laps before he completed his pass, but Hawkins just having a knack here for how to get the run down the backstretch. Behind him, though, a lot of cars. 3 wide almost, coming off of 2. That's Brandon Holder all over the back bumper of Shutters now. And Caustic starting to fall off a little bit here. He's falling back to the clutches of the 6th position. Shutters trying to get by him here. Going to make the pass into 1. All the way down to the bottom. 57 of Atkins has pulled out 0.7 of a second here on lap 33. Still side by side now with Caustic and Shutters. Hoobie loses a position to Farmer for the 2nd spot. Now let's see if Farmer can go chase down the leader. He better get moving because there's a hungry 14 coming on his door, and he's going to knock it down here in just a second. Hawkins down to the bottom of the racetrack now on Hoobie. Side by side as they exit 2. Hawkins on the deep dive. He has the nose into 3 and 4. Hoobie doing a good job running that high line, but for how long will it hold on? Hawkins, probably the hardest pass he's had to make since he's been working through this field. Hoobie putting up a great fight there on the outside for 3rd. Side by side just behind them. Holder getting by the 8 of Caustic. Move him up to the top 5 now. And Michael Robinson, how about that? Up here in 7th position. Hits the wall a little bit there, had a run, couldn't go anywhere with it. Now Holder on the outside. Hawkins got to the inside of Hoobie. Hoobie's able to hold him off, and that opens up the door for the 9 car. The momentum, that cliff of driving the outside versus driving the inside. That's what you saw just now with the 14. He navigated through the field quickly. used the tires for what they were worth, and now he just has to fall in line and run out the laps to the stage break. He might have an opportunity if one of these guys make a mistake, but that's probably what it's going to take, and hopefully he doesn't get involved if they do. Side by side now for the 9th position. 8th spot, Kostick trying to hold off the 24. John Kaiser already involved in an accident here tonight, trying to recover his race and his playoff hopes. Unfortunately here tonight, not a lot of drivers made the field, so that makes it even more difficult to put points between you and another driver if you're trying to gain positions and get up there into that top 8. We will eliminate another driver. Next week will be the final race of round 2 at the Charlotte Roval. Then it's on to round 3 at Darlington. So these guys have very little opportunity to capitalize, and like I said, with the shorter field, makes it even more difficult. What's not been difficult? The lead that this guy's taken over. 44 laps led. He's led every single one completed here tonight. Starting on the pole, Jonathan Atkins comes around for lap 45. There's David Farmer just behind him. Rafael Hubi all over the back bumper. 2nd and 3rd spot starting to heat up. 4th and 5th heating back up. Holder has company as well. And Farmer looking like maybe he's battling a tight condition. Hubi up into the wall a little bit there. You can see the 84 giving a lot of berth there to the outside wall. Especially on the exit, he's running lower than anyone else right now. Now moving up a lane as I say that, just to make a liar out of me. Thank you, David. But Hubi, man, he's got the momentum going into 1. Drops it down to the bottom, gets the nose inside. And he's going to complete that pass for 2nd. Just behind them, Holder and Hawkins going back at it. Hawkins is going to drop down all the way to the bottom of the racetrack, and sometimes you can tag that apron to try to get this car to rotate. It's very loose down there on the bottom of this racetrack, but sometimes if you clip it just right, it'll give you a nice drive off in the corner. That time around didn't work for Hawkins. He's all over the back bumper of Holder, but everybody running that outside line, taking it away from the 14. Able to hold on to it so far for Holder in 4th. Shutters still in the 44. Up here in the top 10. He's sitting in 6th position. And got a car. That's the 91 of Casey Ryback having some problems again. Fast approaching on this stage break, and it's a shuffle. Ryback having a lot of tight condition, 3 wide here with the lap down car. That hurt. Michael Robinson loses 4 spots trying to get around this lap car. He's still up 1 position from where he began, but he was inside the top 10. The action happens so fast at this racetrack. You can see that Hawkins gets around Holder, who has a problem. Holder now falls back to Kostick in 6th, 7th position. Let's see if Hawkins pulls Shutters around and they can get back up here to the 84 Farmer. See about a 2-second gap back to the 14 right now. This guy right here, though, is in another area code. 2.2 seconds as they come off of turn 4. He's going to lead another time by. And he's been great on the restarts. A little tag with the wall there. Sometimes that'll help it rotate, too. These next-gen cars, so tough. The new damage model. The car can handle it. The new carbon fiber bodies and panels on these machines absolutely can take a beating, especially at a track like Bristol. What you don't want to do is break that right rear toe link. And then if you hit the wall hard enough, it is possible. You want to be careful with tagging the wall too hard. A safer barrier to jump out and get you, break something, and you're sitting on pit road with a 15-minute required. It's not a good way to end your race. That's a fast way to end your race. It's not a good way to end it. 18 laps to go till the stage break. You're watching the Bluegrass Cup Series live on V-Speed. Bradburn shudders, gets around Hawkins. Not sure if he had a problem. Let's take a look back and see. Looks like he's battling a loose condition. This happened a while back, so we're going to go back to the live shot. Oh, these cars back here. Holder on fire right now. He's got Jonathan Cofield going around. Now the 7 of Schwartz to the inside. Kaiser also following suit on this freight train. Looks like the bottom line's starting to come back in for some of these drivers. These drivers doing a great job ticking away these laps. On the outside, Dustin Leinstedel trying to hold off Heiser. He's going to get a 2-for-1. He's going to hold off the 24 and get to the outside of Brandon Holder. After tagging the wall there on the exit, he completes the pass 3 wide just behind him. Silver's in the middle. Holder falling fast. David Farmer has caught back up to the 21 of Rafael Huby. The 57 of Atkins gets around some lap traffic here in front of him. Now Huby's going to be involved in this lap traffic battle. You can see the 6 of Morton side by side with Cody Anderson. These two drivers fighting for the lucky dog position when this stage break occurs. Coming off of turn 4, getting the 11 to go signal. Atkins looking pretty strong. That lead has died down a little bit, and I'd have to say it had something to do with that lap traffic, trying to pick through it. We're yet to see the guys behind him have to methodically pick their way through. And this is good news here for Shutters. He's working his way ever so closer. Breakout day here for the 44. Looking really good. He navigates around the 6 car. 9 laps to go until the stage break. 8 to go now. Atkins just put on a clinic here for the first stage. He led every single lap. He was able to get good restarts every single time, even with the tires being a little worn. This concrete surface sometimes can be difficult to hook up. We've seen it with some of these drivers here tonight trying to exit. This thing can snap free and get away from you quickly. Brandon Holder still falling back. He's fallen out of the top 10. He's back to 13th position. Looks like he tags the wall here coming into 1 and 2. .76 laps in the book now. Jonathan Atkins navigated the lap traffic, now has clean air in front of him. No one around to cause interference. And we get a solid green flag run in. These guys getting close to that fuel window. And I predict that they're going to all come down pit road during this stage break and take 4 tires. Looking back here with Huby and Farmer, it's getting ever so closer. White flag up in the air for Atkins on the stage break. Looks like he's going to be able to do it with his 1.7 second lead. Winner of stage number 1 is going to go to the number 57. Nothing going on back here with Hubie and Farmer. Radburn shutters in 4th. Hawkins falls back. He's got company on the inside. Caustic side by side with him as they cross the line. So there's your stage break. I might have called it a lap early. I do apologize for that, but nothing really changed. These guys were side by side from 5th on back, but the winner still stays the number 57. As the field bunches up, crews up on the wall and ready. Getting ready for those pit stops that we talked about. 79 laps under green pretty much from the start. We had 3 cautions to begin this race. Now we're going to bunch them all back up and see if we can get a good solid green flag run. Green flag pit stops at this racetrack are chaos. I would love to see it here tonight as they make that long journey down pit road here. Remember, they have to take the backstretch pits during caution. Wrap it all the way around, maintaining pit road speed. Pit road speed here tonight, that's 35 miles per hour, so very easy to speed. Also easy if you forget that you're on pit road going around the second set through 3 and 4. See the driver a time or two go over that blue line. So down here on pit road, 4 tires and fuel. Down and away for Hawkins on the pit road exit. It's a close battle. I'm not sure if Atkins got that or not. That was really close. Right there at the line. And not the best angle of it, but let's go back another 5 seconds and take a look. Right there's the commitment or the exit line. So it goes Atkins, Farmer, and Hubie, the top 3 here tonight, off of pit road. You're watching the Bluegrass Cup Series Chase Race number 3, round 2 at Bristol Motor Speedway. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back right after this. Back here, Bristol Motor Speedway, Bluegrass Cup Series getting underway for stage number 2 here tonight. Winner of stage number 1, Jonathan Atkins, leads him into turn 1. And he's looking good on the restart. David Farmer really close behind. The 21 of Hubie having a lot of problems here. Not a good restart for the 21. He falls all the way back to 7th. side by side with Caustic for 8th position. He's going to lose another one down on the bottom. Meanwhile, back up towards the front. Thought we saw a pass. There was Cofield on the inside of the 7 of Schwartz there for a moment. Schwartz is going to go to the outside of, I believe that's Radburn Shutters for 3rd. Here he comes off. Gets a good run on the back of Farmer. And the 44 dives it in deep, sends it all the way down there, and the 7 into the wall. The 58 has to avoid it. Somehow the 7's still on the pedal. And Hawkins now. He also had not a great restart. Falls back to 7th, now working on getting 6th away from Cofield. He gets by, he's in 5th now. On the outside of the 44. These drivers still trying to navigate around this 44 car. Shutters holding on. Now, while all this happens, all this side-by-side racing from 2nd back to 7th, Jonathan Atkins pulls out 1.2 seconds. And a little tight there for the 84 coming off of 4. That allows Shutters to get by. And diving it down deep, closing the door there. Shutters sees it happening, gives him some dirty air. That's the 7 of Schwartz trying to make a move. The 84 of Farmer still battling that tight condition. Atkins just turns on the afterburners. Now he's loose off of 4. The 14 of Hawkins diving down to the bottom for 3rd, and the 84 in the wall. Farmer falls back to 9th. Now 10th. That's unfortunate. He was running inside the top 3 when that happened. There's Atkins and there's Shutters. Shutters checks out. He pulls away about 5/10, half a second over the 14 of Hawkins. He saw his opportunity there with the 84 Farmer, and he's checking out. Moving on back here. Here's James Silvers in the number 17, up 7 spots from where he began the race. Biggest mover, though, is the 14 of Hawkins. Second biggest mover, the 17. Not a lot of passing going on as of yet. Kaiser in the 9th spot knows what he needs to do. He needs to mitigate the damage. If he doesn't like short track racing, he's going to have to get up here in the top 5. Side by side there for just a moment coming out of 4. Gonna dive it back down. That's Jonathan Cofield in the 5th spot, trying to get around the 7 of Schwartz. Gonna dive it down again. Very difficult racetrack, tight groove. We've seen it. These guys getting side by side, they run out of racetrack, or the car just doesn't want to turn down there on the bottom. You can see Cofield starting to lose ground on Schwartz. Shutters starting to get reeled back in a little bit here by Hawkins. A couple tenths there that lap. Shutters puts up a 14.896. Hawkins actually about matches that time with an 8.70. So not too much faster, but you can see that gap starting to shrink a little bit each lap. And as this run progresses, we saw last time these guys stayed out for about 75 laps under green. This car can absolutely go beyond that point. They should be able to do one stop here. We'll have to wait and see what the strategy calls for, because if I know one thing about Bluegrass, they're going to set these races up in the stage break to make it really mathematically complicated for teams to decide what they want to do, if they want to save, do they want to come down and burn that set of tires. It's always a guessing game, and a caution could totally throw that out the window. Here with Caustic and Holder. This is just inside the top 10. Holder goes to the outside, peaks up high. Remember, Holder battled this car hard and gets into the back of the 8, coming off a 4. Moves him out of the way. Now we're doing short track racing. We've passed the first stage break, and these guys being courteous, they don't have time to do it anymore. So put Holder up to 7th spot. 1.7 seconds. He's led all 109 laps completed here tonight. 110 now as they come across the line. Jonathan Atkins just dominating this race so far here at Bristol. Hard to believe there's other drivers in this top 3 right now. He started up here on the pole alongside Rafael Hubi. He's fallen back to 10th. He's since recovered a little bit. Hubi had a really big struggle there on that last restart. That's unfortunate. Maybe didn't get the tires to hook up. They were cold. He's trying to work his way back up there for points' sake. David Farmer, another one of those drivers that didn't get a good start on this second stage. Back in the 11th position. So the top 3 originally was Atkins, Farmer, and Hubi. That's since changed with Hawkins, Radburn, Shutters. Hawkins is able to get around the 44, and I'm sorry that we missed that pass. But if you're like me, an ice cold beer will make everything better. We'll forget all about it. The 7 of Shorts up into the top 5. The 7 car looking solid here in the second stage. Battled the tight condition as well. A lot of these drivers seem like the track's coming to them now. They've figured it out, how to run in traffic and not overdrive your stuff. You can see the line changes too. More drivers up on the outside than there were at the first stage. That's probably a good factor for why some of these guys have found their way up into the top 5 that weren't there before. You can see a pretty big split. That's Jonathan Cofield, and then back to James Silvers. We're talking about almost a full second back to the number 17 as he's got company with Brandon Holder. Holder dives it down into 1 and 2, all the way to the bottom, gets the nose in there. Doesn't have the run off. Falls back in line, but now Caustic almost peeks to the outside. This is for 6th through 9th position. Cofield creeping up to the back of Schwartz again. And if he can try the pass on the bottom, Caustic now gets to the inside of Holder. Now they're all side by side, 6th through 9th. Holder on the outside of Silvers. Big run down the backstretch. He gets the position away from the 17. The 24 going to follow suit. Here they come down the front straightaway, and Kaiser moves up to 7th. Caustic trying to get around. Maybe some contact here as they come out of 2. Silvers is able to lift out of the throttle just in time to not slide up, and now Caustic's going to try his luck against the 24. Back up here with Cofield and Schwartz. Also want to talk about the battle that's brewing here between Hawkins and Shutters. Shutters on the rebound now. Nobody is catching this 57 car. 3.1 seconds ahead in a dominating fashion here for the points. Safe to say he likes this track. Shutters on the outside. He's going to get back by the 14 here up high. Completes that pass for 2nd. Cofield now side by side with Schwartz. Keeps getting the nose in there, just not able to complete the pass. And really gets tucked up close to him. 7 car hits the wall, and that allows Cofield to get the position. So just a dominating performance. And, you know, it's admirable that you can have a favorite racetrack. A lot of these drivers do. I know some guys on Saturday nights and Tuesday nights that like specific tracks. But here on Wednesday nights, it's pretty safe to say Jonathan Atkins is a big fan of Bristol. And I don't know how much practice he's put into this place, but he's looking solid here. Even with the yellows that we had to start this race out. Quick on the draw, gets a great restart, and pulls out almost half a second into turn 2. Incredible to watch that drive. That drive off is what it's all about here in Bristol. If you can get this thing to hook up and get it figured out. Uh-oh, Hawkins hits the wall there into looks like 1 and 2. Cofield's going to shave away a couple tenths there on this lap. Oh, Cofield into the wall as well. Curse of the camera. And the 58 has a quick tag with the wall. Still side by side back here. You've got Rafael Hubi, who's fought his way back up here to 6th position. What a drive for the 21. He gets around Brandon Holder for 6th now. And Kostick trying his luck against Kaiser. Kaiser, I really need to stop butchering that name. I think it's pronounced Kaiser. One of these days I'll get it. But we're past the halfway point, and there's a little thing we like to do here on V-Speed. If you know where your volume knob is, go ahead and find it if you don't. We're going to turn up the volume a little bit here for a few laps. Let's get that blood moving. Bluegrass style. So that was cranking it up as good as we can do it. Please don't trademark me, Fox. But yeah, we're halfway past, and lap 141. Rafael Hubi finds his way back into the top 5. Battled all the way back up here, and he is one of the fastest cars on the racetrack. He is within a tenth of your leader, Jonathan Atkins. He is driving the doors off this thing to try to get it back up front. Meanwhile, you've got Jonathan Cofield in 4th, going up against Hawkins. Hawkins is starting to battle a little bit of a tight condition here. And Radburn shudders 3.3 seconds. Sounds like Atkins maybe had a little scrape with the wall there. Schwartz starting to struggle. Falls back to 7th. This is kind of what we saw in that last run. After they got past about lap 50, Schwartz starts to fall off, and it's unfortunate, but these cars are going to go way beyond that point. So he's going to have to find that late run speed. We've stayed green since the stage break at lap 80. Going back green at lap 85, and they've ran 60 laps. Schwartz is just going to have to figure it out. Somebody that's also clawing his way back through this field. A little bit slower rate, but David Farmer up to 8th position now. Back where he started. He's been here before and worked his way into the top 3. Going to be a little bit tougher to do now without that stage break. Back here side by side, there's the 85 of Daniel Cunningham, who was involved in that early race caution. The 24 also involved in that, and Holder, he's stuck up there on the outside. Looked like he got into the wall a little bit there on the exit, and that's going to allow the 85 to get to the inside. Daniel Cunningham up to 9th here as they come out of 2, still side by side. Now going to complete the pass. Back up on the outside again there for the 9 for just a brief second. Hawkins under fire now from the 21 of Hooby for the top 3. Hooby gets around Cofield. Now going to work on the 14 of Hawkins. They make contact down the backstretch. A little slight touch there. Hooby working hard to try to get around him. Might have him clear here out of 2. He does. And a little slide work. Hooby up to 3rd. And he is faster than the leader that time by. Well, speaking of that, he's in lap traffic, so that might be part of the problem here for the 57. He's since lost some of that lead as well. Shutters has shaved off about 2 seconds, so a little struggle here with the lap traffic. Now clear of that, and up to the outside in clean air for the 57 again. You can see the 6 of Morton. He's 3 laps down here. He should just drop down. He does. He gets down out of the way, allowing that 44 to get back up on a run. The Shutters now within a second. Lap 154. 100 to go. Creeping up slowly here. Less than a second separating the 57, who's led every single lap here tonight. If you're just joining us, dominant performance here for Jonathan Atkins. 154 laps led. Little scrape of the wall. Triggers our overlay to say 155 after he brushes it. But Radburn Shutters could be contesting this. We've had 0 lead changes here tonight. 3 official cautions. And Shutters get up there. He shaves off another 10th that time by. 15.954 to a 15.761. The only other car faster is Rafael Hooby with a 15.725. And still the fastest car on the racetrack is Hooby with another 15.7. The lead about to change. It looks like the 44 is going to get the run here coming off of turn 4. He peeks the nose down in. Side by side here for the lead. Would be the first lead change of the night. Doesn't get the momentum off of 2. He's going to try it again, get right up on that bumper. You can hear Atkins starting to struggle a little bit. The pressure's on. And the 57 goes really tight there. That's going to open up the door for another side-by-side down the backstretch. Lap 161 and coming off the corner, it looks like Shutters has almost got him cleared. He leads 1 lap. Side by side again down the backstretch, just not able to clear the 57. He's working hard to try to keep the 44 in check. Almost clear. He comes up in front of the 57, and that's going to do it officially. Lead change for the 44 of Shutters. Go back here to the 21 of Hooby. He's about 2.5 seconds back from Atkins. Slowly but surely shaving away this lead. That time by fastest car on the racetrack for the 21. And then that time by, Shutters matches his time with a 15.802. So these guys running identical lap times. Atkins maybe pulled it out a little too far in that clean air. Misjudged it a little bit and didn't run away with the lead far enough. Checking back in. There's David Farmer working his way through the field. On the outside of Michael Kostick for 5th. Now going to work the 14. GT Hawkins for 4th. So good recovery for Hubie and a good recovery for Farmer. They break back into the top 5. Hubie gets around. Atkins coming down pit road now. And the 14 almost misses the entrance to pit road. We'll go back one more time here. I think he's good to go. He's coming back around. And take that back pit road entry. 14 down into his stall. 57 of Jonathan Atkins, rather, in his stall as well. 4 tires of fuel going on this machine. Radburn Shutters still out on the racetrack. Rafael Hubie has shaved it down to about 2 seconds. Just under 2 seconds, and it looks like the 44 is coming down alongside Holder, and he misses the entrance to pit road. He comes down the wrong side. And Hubie takes over the lead. Now he's getting into pit road. Unfortunate there. That's a mistake that can be made very easily. Michael Kostick's going to stay out. Hubie down as well. So Kostick takes over the lead. 58 of Cofield in. Daniel Cunningham down and away, the 7. John Schwartz out. And to the blue cone, they come back out on the racetrack. Here comes Kostick now onto pit road. Did he enter on the right side? Hubie. Down here, the left side's going up. Down and away now for the 21. Atkins takes over the lead. So 3 cautions and 3 lead changes and back on pace. For the remaining 125 laps here tonight is going to be Jonathan Atkins. Green flag pit stops all cycled out. GT Hawkins has an excellent stop down pit road. He comes out in 2nd. He's on the same stint as the 57 as well. Rafael Hubie loses a little bit of time. He loses about 3 seconds after coming down pit road. But remember, this car very fast in the long run. He went about 90 laps on that stint. It'd be interesting to see if they can make it to the end. I don't think they will be able to. Dylan Reinstedel started in 16th. Must have had a heck of a job on pit road. 11.3 in the box. He's up to the top 5 in 4th here. Side by side here with Shutters, who missed the entrance on the backstretch. Has to make up all that ground over again. You see David Farmer back to 7th. So after all that work he did, he also has to recover again. Some of these drivers having a tough time on pit road. Puts them back in the spot where they began this. Car in the wall, that's the 11. Reinstedel tags the wall there, loses a spot to Cofield. Now side by side with the 84. This field very spread out here tonight. What? We've done our first set of green flag pit stops. Glad we got to do that. You're watching the Bluegrass Cup Series live at Bristol Motor Speedway. We're on lap 184. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back right after this.
Oh, big wiggle. And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The wheel gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Swack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it at Auto Club.
Back here live, Bluegrass Cup Series Chase Race number 3 at Bristol Motor Speedway, live on V-Speed. We're on lap 192 here tonight, and it's been a dominated race, by the 57 of Jonathan Atkins. He's led almost every single lap. He has 178 of the 193 in the books here tonight. The only competition he had there for a moment was Radburn Shutters. He's led 10 laps here tonight, but unfortunately makes a mistake entering pit road. He tried to enter on the front straightaway and loses a ton of time. He has to gain it all back now, trying to chase down the 21 of Raphael Huby. Now side by side though, as we go back to that for a second, the 58 of Jonathan Cofield diving it into the inside. So top 10 is Atkins, Hawkins, Huby, Shutters, Cofield, Farmer, Kostick, Reinstedel, Cunningham, and Schwartz. 9 of Holder has had an up and down day tonight. He's sitting in the 11th position, and he's been as high as 5th. But just not been able to hold the tires on that thing in the long run. That car has struggled after about 40 laps. Sean Kaiser, driver that just made the cutoff. He's currently in the 12th position. Gonna have to get back up here in the top 10. He started in 2nd here tonight, but just hasn't been able to keep that pace up during the race. James Silver's unusual here for the 17. You see all these yellow banners, all these drivers wearing it out here tonight for Bluegrass Cup Series. Those are your chase drivers. So if you see a yellow windshield banner, you know that they're in the top 12 in points. Speaking of yellow banners, back up here to the front, the 57 is 2.7 seconds ahead of GT Hawkins, and we're 200 laps in. We've got 50 to go. We talked about pit stops. Are these guys going to be able to make it to the end? I can confirm that that is not going to happen. These guys are going to be a little bit short. Some of these drivers are not going to make it. A little brush with the wall there with the 57. He loses a 10th to Hawkins there that time by. And approaching lap traffic in front of him. Rafael Rubio's 2.6 seconds back from GT Hawkins. Hawkins is doing a great job here to mitigate the damage. He was having a little bit of a struggle in qualifying. He started in 13th here tonight, but the biggest gainer of the race, 11 positions up. Hawkins trying to chase down the 57 of Atkins, who just pulls out that 10th that he gave away a moment ago. Would also like to take this opportunity to let everyone know. I'd like to thank everyone that's been a part of the V-Speed group. Been a long journey from 3 years ago when I began broadcasting over at Drivers Network America and WFO. Teamed up with Adam Baker back in late 2019. And I haven't regretted any of it. It has been a great move. And that being said, I'm very thankful for you guys helping this channel build to what it is today. We're officially YouTube monetized now. That is a big milestone. I know I thanked some guys there maybe last week, but I don't think I got to Bluegrass. So from everybody here at V-Speed, Adam Baker, myself, Alec Martinez, Eddie Smith, Connor Horn, we all thank you very, very much for putting V-Speed on the map. We appreciate it. That being said, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, I will plug that to the end of my day. Make sure you hit that button so you never miss a single race here in the Bluegrass Cup Series. They go live at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday nights. Bluegrass Cup Series in their third race of the chase. 17 races in out of the 21 race season. Not a lot of action. Pretty spread out here on the racetrack. Closest battle on the racetrack right now is the 7 of Schwartz and the 11 of Dustin Reinstedel. This looks like it's heating up here for the 9th position very slowly. Lap down cars, you have the 24 of Sean Kaiser in front of this group as they go to the outside for the 11. David Farmer is in 7th position. And I know he's kicking himself right now with that restart on the stage. Unfortunate there for the 84. How about Daniel Cunningham getting involved in that lap, I believe lap 5 caution. Might have been the second caution, I can't remember now, but he has been involved in an accident here tonight. He's up to 8th. So the 85 has turned it around for the most part. Still struggling to get back to where he started this race inside the top 5. But 8th position at Bristol, that's surviving. And that's really what this place is all about. Car in the wall, the 11 of Reinstedel tags it there for a second. Still able to carry the speed, but he's going to hit it even harder here into 3 and 4. Still able to carry the speed. I'm not so sure that that line's going to work too much longer, though. The 11 does it again. Look at the run he's getting. Doesn't tag the wall, and the 7 car catches back up. Right up on the bumper now. The 7 of Schwartz taking the air off that back spoiler. Car's starting to group up behind him. That's the 57 of Atkins trying to put these guys a lap down. He dives to the inside. The pace really picks up here when you're behind a car that's leading the race, because now you're going to be racing for the lucky dog position. The 11 really tight off of 4. The 57 just trying to get clear of these boys. The 11 into the wall again. Twice in one corner. All over the back bumper. The 7 follows him into the wall this time. The 57 just wants to get clear of these boys, and almost into the side of the 57 is the 11. Reinstedel having a struggle here. I think he hit the wall the entirety of the one lap there. So Atkins able to get around, and that's a pucker up moment there for the 57 car. He could have had the entire race end right there. All for nothing. Hubie gets around Hawkins, works his way into second position. All right, we missed that action, Hubie. I know you're not upset. You're focused on driving, and driving, you're doing it well. A little bit faster than leader that time by, about a tenth. So the 21 car getting to that late part of the run, past 50 laps, and this is about the same time Atkins started to fall off. He also had to struggle, though, passing those lap cars, and that will burn the tires off. Four seconds back now for Hubie. About a tenth faster that lap as well. Coming down to about 25 to go. Pulling away from Hawkins, about 2 seconds now. Bradburn Shutter's starting to catch up. He's 7 tenths back. In the wall there, that looked like the 42 of Cody Anderson. He is sitting in the 14th position, 7 laps down. Had a lot of damage there to start this race off. That right front has never really been repaired. He struggled here tonight. Unfortunately, gets involved in that lap 1 wreck, and then lap, I believe, 7 or 8 when we had that second caution. He gets involved in that one as well. So the 42 pretty beat up here tonight. That Toyota Camry's seen some better days. You can see the banner up there for Cody Anderson. He made the chase. And 20 laps to go. Jonathan Atkins, 3.9 seconds ahead of Rafael Hubie, coming off of turn 4. Navigating this lap traffic the same way Atkins had to do it. Shutters happened to do the same thing as well. That's allowed him to get around Hawkins, though, for third. And now Michael Kostick is the next one in line. So Hawkins, also a driver that starts to struggle here in the later run. Brandon Holder clips the wall there for a second. He's a lap down as well. The 9 car has some short run speed in it, but anything past about 40 laps, that car really starting to struggle. You can see him up there on the outside now as Kostick goes to the bottom. Not for position, but just trying to get around to navigate his way up there to the 14. Still got plenty of time to do it. About 15 to go. These boys have ticked off 235 laps in about an hour and a half. Hubie has the lead down to 3.4. Does he have enough time? You can see him picking his way through this traffic as methodically as he can. But the 7 car gets side by side with him here. He's trying to get clear of him. Now getting around John Schwartz. 3.3 seconds up on the board. About 20 laps to go. Actually, 11 laps to go. Jonathan Atkins, 224 laps led here tonight. Tags the outside wall. Loses a little bit more time. He has put down a lap, almost the half of this field here tonight. Remaining half of the field that's still on the racetrack. Barrett Morton, Michael Robinson, and Casey Ryback put it behind the wall early here tonight. And 3.4 seconds seems to be the note where Atkins turns on the afterburners, starting to put some ground back on Rafael Hubie. Hubie, an admirable effort, though, to race his way back into the top 3. Did a heck of a job getting up there. He still has the chance, though. The race isn't over. 7 laps to go as they cross the line. Still a little bit of lap traffic here that could tie the 57 up. We saw what happened with the 11 car. Anything can happen here at Bristol. That's part of the reason it's such a tough track, is because you meet in the middle with a lot of guys that are off pace or having problems, maybe not good on the long run. Drivers that maybe got damaged, just a variety of different things that'll happen here, and you have to pick your way through it. And meanwhile, while that's going on, they're racing for position in front of you, which makes it even more complicated. But right now, it's a pretty clean gap here for the 57. 5 laps to go. Bluegrass Cup Series driver Jonathan Atkins with a dominating performance. 4 laps now as he crosses the line. Rafael Hubi races his way back into the top 3. 3 seconds separating him, and I'm sure if we had about 20 more to go, we might see a race for the lead. Unless we get a caution, I don't think we're going to see it. These drivers did make it on fuel. I thought I confirmed that they would not, but here they are, 79 laps into this stint. Rafael Hubi, a little bit fresher tires, but it's not going to be enough. Atkins, 3.3 seconds ahead. 2 laps to go as he crosses the line. Just has to get around this place one more time as it comes off at turn 4. The 57 of Jonathan Atkins with his dominating performance down to the bottom in 1 and 2, actually up to the top line. He's going to exit in the middle, keep it nice and level, clean and green for one more time off the final corner. It's going to be the number 57 of Jonathan Atkins getting the win here tonight at Bristol. .236 laps led for that driver. And my, what a dominating performance. He led 87% of this race here tonight. So parade lap here for the 57 as he brings it back to the front straightaway. Let's burn it down here with the 57. Your victor here tonight for the Bluegrass Cup Series Chase Race number 3. Post-race interviews with your top 3. You're watching the Bluegrass Cup Series live on V-Speed. We're going to take another quick commercial break while we round those guys up. We'll be back right after this. Bluegrass Cup Series Chase Race number 3 has concluded here tonight. The top 3 down here on pit road. We're going to catch up with your 3rd place finisher here tonight. And that is the number 44 of Radburn Shutters. And man, I tell you what, it was tough. You missed the entrance to pit road. I know, I hate to bring it up, man, but that was just unfortunate. I think you were probably one of the few drivers here tonight with Hubi to be the guy that maybe wins this race outside of Atkins.
Yeah, no, I nailed pit road entry. You're just not supposed to enter on that side.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah, practiced all day and night, but you could cut Bristol down the middle and both sides look the same, especially when you've been, I guess you could call it, driving around like a zombie the whole time. I
Yeah,
mean,
that tunnel vision really sinks in. The walls are black. The stadium's all the same. It's very symmetrical.
yeah, a little bit of dyslexia maybe kicked in there. I was thinking turn 4 and looking at turn 2 and turn 2, blah blah blah. That was just a tough one to swallow, man.
Yeah,
I
no.
knew I'd done it just as soon as I started in towards it too.
I mean,
And
thankfully you didn't bring it down and hit pit road because that would have even cost you more time. If you actually got into the pit lane, right?
yeah, that would have absolutely shattered the race right there.
All
But
in all, though, a good recovery overall.
yeah, I appreciate it. I come into this race knowing this is my best track out of everywhere pretty much, and had high hopes for it. And was competing just where I wanted to. It's one of those deals where I have to laugh about it. I ain't even can't even be mad at any of that. That was a great run. Just gotta keep your head on your shoulders during these long races.
Third place finish. It's admirable. You came back from, falling out of the top 5 there for a moment. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out for tonight's performance?
Yep, I want to thank my beautiful lady Lori, then some sponsors here, Aerial Pros of Western North Carolina, Function Junction Smoke Shop, GG's of Waynesville, Mountain View Detailing, and Waynesville Tire. Everybody at Cornerstone for putting together these practices that put us up front every week. Try to, and everybody at Bluegrass for putting on the show. Everybody from the broadcast, appreciate it, and can't wait to do it again next week.
We appreciate your time next week at the Roval. So a little change of pace, but I think you'll be fine. Radburn Shutters, third place finisher here tonight. Congratulations, man.
Appreciate it.
Moving on down pit road, we have your second place driver, and that's Rafael Huby. And Huby, man, I tell you what, I don't know what happened to you on pit road. I don't know. It's just a series of things, but you were fast tonight.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. First of all, congratulations to Atkins for the win and Radburn for third place. And everyone for the race, actually, because we didn't get any cautions after the stage. So it was nice to see how the tire management would go. And I'm kind of terrible on this kind of track, so I tried to do my best. That wasn't enough. And I also fell down to 10th. And when I tried to go back up, when I had better tires, they didn't make it easy. So I had to destroy my tires anyway. So yeah, it kind of didn't work.
It was never easy with cars that weren't for position. It looked like lap traffic and just a combination of different things all night. You were constantly battling with something to try to get up there to the leader.
Yeah, I was comfortable in the bottom line, but some lap cars, when I got to them, if they would have like lifted a little bit, we wouldn't have lost so much time, both me and them. So, but it's racing. You can complain about that. They're doing their race. I'm doing my race, and I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is. That's what comes to mind, and yeah, it's no sense going back on that. Let's talk about the performance here tonight. Huby, you started in third spot. That start to the race looked really rough, but you came back. You raced your way through the field. We had our stage break. Something happened on the restart. You fall back out of the top 5 again, drive your way all the way back up to the top 3 in what looked like just before green flag pit stops. You had some competition there. You were beating them by about a 10th a lap.
Yeah, on the start, I kind of fall on the restarts, but I got back up and managed to keep up in staying second place and finish the stage, which was important for the points. And on the restart after the stage, I fell back on purpose because I was saving my tires. So that's what gave me a little bit of pace on the end of the first run after the stage. And yeah, that's it.
I mean, that's just hard to judge. You fall back a little bit to try to save tires. It's one of those things. It's part of racing. But congratulations on the second place finish here tonight. Rafael, do you have anybody you'd like to shout out and thank for tonight's performance?
Yes. First of all, I'd like to thank my team, WJM Motorsports, and the sponsors on the team, which are Gutter 6, MDI TV, Ackerman Seal Coating, Oxygreen, Garza Law Firm, and especially the sponsor, my main sponsor, which is my car, the Extreme Sim Racing. And yeah, that's it.
We appreciate your time, Hubie, and we look forward to seeing you next week. I hope you got
Thank you.
something for him at the Roval.
I hope to.
There's Rafael Hubie, your second place finisher here tonight at Bristol. Let's finally catch up. We're down here in Victory Lane with the dominating performance of the number 57 here tonight. 236 laps led. You started on the pole. You had excellent restarts. And when we talked to you during that caution break, I know we kind of caught you at a bad time when we were going green, but you launched out of there like a rocket. And it seemed like from the short to medium run, nobody was touching that 57 tonight.
Yeah, I've always kind of been that way at Bristol. I've had a lot of speed and burnt the right front off, and that's kind of what we had tonight. And the first run I got out far enough where it didn't matter, and the second one, Radburn ran me down, and me and him were gonna have a heck of a race if he didn't have pit road trouble, because yeah, I could jump out, but he was gonna come back to me. So I hate he had trouble, but we'll take that one, put it in the bag.
Yeah, that was kind of my consensus too. And you know, it's really hard to keep up with all the action. We got half the field a lap down. We had drivers that had damage, taking early exits, and just trying to keep up with your guys' fuel, let alone knowing, you know, Radburn misses pit road. I think, yeah, pretty calculated. He would have been the guy, and Hubie as well, falling back a little far. But man, what a race though tonight! You just dominated it.
Yeah, in practice, I basically focused on trying to get the pole, and because it's hard to pass on the bottom. Even like there was a couple guys that got them inside, but if you roll the top, they can't really make passes. So I really wanted to get the pole and not have to pass anybody, and just try to jump out to early leads and hope for the best. And it worked out. So we'll take it and move on to the next round. Live to fight another day.
Live to fight another day. You did a dominating performance. You get the stage one. You get the final results. We're going to the Roval next week, and I know that doesn't check a lot of boxes for me personally, but some of these guys do really well there. What about you, Jonathan?
Well, it's probably one of my better road course tracks. Just I know the course better than most there in Watkins Glen, but I'm not a road racer. I can guarantee that, and so we'll be fighting for a top 5, top 10 there best we can. But it's a good feeling going in there and not having to worry about pointing our way into the next round and being locked in with the win. So that was my goal, and I'm glad we pulled it off.
Well, with the dominating performance, locks himself into the next round of the chase. Jonathan Atkins wins here tonight at Bristol. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out and thank for the win?
Yep, I'd like to thank Miller Family Trucking, Speed Ranch, Shock Eye Racing Performance, Studio 10 Wraps, and my smoking hot wife.
Well, there you go. I would lead with the smoking hot wife next time, personally, but well done, Jonathan. Appreciate your time, and we look forward to seeing you at the Roval next week, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Appreciate you.
I appreciate it.
Race winner, number 57, Jonathan Atkins. And now let's move on to that final finishing order. You know we got those results for you. Let's put them up on the screen now. Jonathan Atkins, Rafael Hubie, and Radburn shutters the top 3 here tonight. Michael Kostick's going to bring it home in 4th. Impressive drive there for the number 8 to put it up there into the top 5. Gigi Hawkins is going to bring it home in 5th. Daniel Cunningham, 6th spot. 7th, Jonathan Cofield. David Farmer, unfortunately, never able to get back into that top 5. Struggled with lap traffic. He's going to bring it home in 8th. John Schwartz, 9th position. And Dustin Reinstedel able to hold on to that 11 car just long enough to round out your top 10. 11th spot belongs to Brandon Holder, Sean Kaser in 12th, James Silvers 13th, Cody Anderson 14th, Barrett Morton, Michael Robinson, Casey Ryback, and Daniel Worthington behind the wall tonight to finish out the race. So next week, it's Bluegrass Cup Series at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to go right-hand turns at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The 16 corners and the 2 chicanes. Look out for that bus stop on the backstretch. It's going to be good. Again, that's at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I'd like to thank you for watching tonight's broadcast of the Bluegrass Cup Series. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do so you never miss a single race as we bring you the remainder of the season here at Bluegrass TV and B-Speed. And for everybody at B-Speed, Adam Baker, Eddie Smith, Alec Martinez, Connor Horn, and myself, Bradley Cooper, this is the Bluegrass Cup Series signing off for tonight. Take care, everybody, and have a great weekend.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The wheel gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes
Swack.
Swack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag.